Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day. And it's the week leading into Christmas for those of you celebrating Christmas, which we are at our family household. And I hope that you are taking that time to really enjoy this season. And as someone who's a balanced living expert, I will tell you, I am encountering people every day and they're in one of a few places. They're either frantic. I was getting my hair blown out for a function the other day, and this girl was saying, I wish it wasn't Christmas. I don't have any time. And I'm thinking, girl, you just, honestly, it's the season, where's your head at? And she was so stressed out about, the perfect gift and the perfect everything that she hadn't done anything. Her perfectionism had thrown her into procrastination. And I hope that's not you. The second place you may be is that you're a person who's you're enjoying it somewhat. You still got a few things to do. And in which case, that's kind of where I'm at right now. We, have a few things going on this week. There's no question, but I shut my phone down on Friday for the whole weekend, and it was amazing. And I didn't even turn it on until this morning. And it was just incredible just to step back and just not even think about it and to unplug and to have that time baking cookies with the kids and just watching some fun Christmas movies and doing those things. So, hopefully that's where you're at. Or the third place you may be in is you may be totally on top of things, in which case I commend you and I hope you are taking that time. And for myself, at this time of year, I always do an office shutdown. And so I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the rest of the week I'm just off. I'm not turning on my phone. I will not be turning on my phone until the day after Christmas when I am doing this Facebook Live. That'll be next week. So not on Christmas Day, but I'll be finishing up our series, Progress, Productivity, and Profit. So that will be the next time I turn it on. I won't be looking at emails. And years ago, I had a client. Her name was ironically also Susan. And shouts out to you, Susan Z, her last name. And she used to turn and she was, she celebrated Hanukkah, and she was like, look, my time is with my family, and I shut my phone down. I shut my email down. She zeroed her inbox, and that was it. So my question for all of you, and it's great to see Tina and Riel and Bruce and Hadass and everyone. My question for you is, what is your shutdown day going to be? Right? Because you can't be effective if you're ATT all the time. And I had a friend who was like, I've been looking for you all weekend, and were you out of the country? And I'm like, no, I had my phone off. Yay. And we do have to take those times, and we have to set our boundaries, because you can't be functional if you're just trying to be everything to all people and not being present. I wanted to show you guys too, a little bit of personal stuff. So I found this on my desk this morning. It's super cute. I don't know if you could see it. It says, "For Mummy, love Emery," and there she is petting a reindeer. And that's the stuff that is incredible to me as a mom, is just making sure that we do have those times. And, you're not going to look back at the end of your life and go, gee, I wish I had worked more. You're going to wish you had had that quality time. So I just want to start there. So we're on week number 3 of our series, and we're talking about how do we become more productive and profitable and create more progress, especially coming into 2018. And how many of you want 2018 to be an above and beyond year? Just say yes in the chat. Bruce's above and beyond. How many of you do? Yes. Okay. Perfect. And I see a lot of hearts, a lot of thumbs up. We all do. So we want to finish this year in a place where we're feeling certain, we're feeling ready. And that's what this free series is about. And last week I was doing live coaching. If you didn't see it, I coached beautiful Maria Stockwell, and we did some NLP coaching, and I am a certified NLP coach, and really breaking some of those limiting beliefs. And this week we're going to talk about our words and how we can use our words to either elevate ourselves or sabotage our success. So I want to begin with this concept of our language and how we speak over our future, how we speak over our past, and how we speak over our present. And it's very interesting. I'll tell you guys a story. So I'm very cognizant of people's language, and I'm sure some of you are too. And I pay attention not so much to what people say as to how they say what they say and their intentionality. And one of the secrets to my success has really been managing my words. And so when I was growing up, I was very, very heavy. And when I was 10 years old, I was a women's size 14, if you can imagine. And I remember going to Zeller's department store in Canada and my stepmom taking me into the women's section, and I really wanted to shop in the kids section, but I didn't fit in any of those clothes. And I remember being humiliated, and I would just look in the mirror. And if you've read my book, The Have It All Woman, I talk about this. I'd look in the mirror and punch myself in the stomach, and I kept saying, I'm so fat, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly. And one of the things I learned later in life was this: when we say the words I am, we actually invoke the name of God. So regardless if you are Jewish or you're Christian, if you go into the Old Testament, when Moses is going to liberate the Israelites, he says to God, "Who shall I say sent me?" And God says, say, I am. I am that I am. So God says, my name is I am. And so regardless of what you believe, here's the thing, and many of us might call God different things, and my goal in these Facebook Lives is always to be inclusive, is that when we are using the words I am, we are invoking the name of God. So when we say I am and we follow it by something negative, we are actually blaspheming, if you can think of it that way. So if Hadass says, I am a loser, she's being blasphemous, right? If she, not that she would, but if she's being hard on herself because she isn't where she wants to be in her business, and she says, oh, I'm not a leader, I'm an idiot, or whatever she's saying, she's actually blaspheming. And our words have power, right? So whatever we speak over our life, write this down, please, becomes our truth. And I think very deeply about my friend who died 2 years ago, this January, at age 47, and he died of cancer. And I'll never forget, we were running that summer before he was diagnosed with cancer. And I think we were just out for, I think it was like a 6 or 7 mile run. And he's like, let's go slow. And I'm like, cool, we'll go slow. I'm fine with that. And he's like, I'm getting older. My knee is sore. And he used to speak like this. My knee is sore. I'm getting older. And I was like, stop saying the O word. And this is what I said. I said, don't ever say the O word around me unless it ends in gasm. Okay. And so he was like, what? And I said, don't say old. Don't say old. Don't speak that over yourself. But he's like, you don't understand. I'm getting old. I'm like, you're only 3 years older than I am. What are you talking about? So sure enough, the aches and the pains and the this and that. And he ended up getting cancer and dying. And I'm not saying that if you start to say that stuff about yourself, that that's what's going to happen, but it could be an inevitability that wasn't going to occur in the first place. My in-laws are another example. If you're watching this, I've said this to their face, so it's nothing I'm saying in secret, that, my father-in-law was a runner, and he was running about 5 miles every day. And then a few years ago, he started to say, oh, I'm getting older, blah, blah, blah. And then he stopped running. And then now it's like, I'm fat and I'm old and I'm this and I'm that. And when we speak that stuff over our lives, we start to live into it. Some of you have said to me, Susan, I'm about to have my 18-year anniversary of getting diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And some of you have said, well, have you navigated it? Do you have a special pill? Do you have a special whatever? I never went to one support group meeting. Are you kidding? I'm not going to sit there in some room and be like, oh, I'm so sick, or I'm, I've got neuropathy and I'm this. Why would I want to speak that crap over my life? I don't, right? Does this make sense, everyone? So whatever we're speaking over our life becomes our truth. Last week, we worked on how our experiences create our beliefs, create our thoughts, create our actions. And in using NLP and getting rid of the limiting beliefs, we start to look at our past differently. Now, you don't need an NLP coach, although it's great if you have one. You don't need an NLP coach to help you. You can begin to do that yourself by speaking over your past in a different way, right? So how many of us feel that in our past we've made some mistakes? Right? So maybe, Rial is here. Maybe in the past he wasn't the man he is now, or maybe Janet wasn't the woman she is now. However, in our past, we can look at it objectively or subjectively, and we can be like, oh, I was this, or I was that, I was an idiot, or I was fat, or I was this, or whatever. Or we can look at it from this place, in this lens, and I want you guys to really contemplate this God-like lens of compassion. I was talking to my friend Pastor Rob Robinson last week, and we were talking about looking at our past through the lens of compassion, and we can look at it, be more God-like, and not to say we're blaspheming or being, like God, but we're trying to look at our lives through our past, much like this whole concept of a loving, compassionate God would look at us as their child and say, you know what? I was doing the best I could. I was making the best decisions given my capabilities, given my circumstances. I did that, and I forgive myself, and I'm prepared to let it go. In my coaching work with my business partner, Lisa DeMeo, and Accelerate, oftentimes when we're teaching, and we have a class coming up, it starts on January 16th called Accelerate Your Results, How to Get Anything You Want in Faster Time. And when we're coaching people live, we will not let our students live into their story, right? Because the more we talk about something, the more real it is. So if the more you're talking about your past and, whatever happened to you, the abuse, the neglect, or whatever, the more real you make it. And what happens is you end up bringing your past into your present. And when your past comes into your present, you can only look at your future through the lens of the past. Does this make sense? In NLP coaching, what we do is we move your timeline. So you're not going to do that anymore. But your words, you gotta stop. You just stop. You stop talking about the past. Stop making it real. The past is over. Let it go. Now let's talk about our present. When you wake up in the morning, how often do you look in the mirror and go, oh, I'm fat. I'm ugly. I look tired. How often do you start your day putting yourself down? Instead, what if you started saying something like, oh, you know what? Yes, maybe I look a little tired today, but I'm empowered because I can make a decision to go to bed earlier. Or maybe I'm not the weight I want to be, but man, oh man, I can make some healthy decisions today. You see, every day can be the best day of your life. Every day you can set yourself up for success by not dwelling on your problems, but write this down, by dwelling on your solutions, right? Where our focus goes, our energy flows. That's what one of my mentors taught me. So if I look in the mirror and I'm like not in love with what I see, I can choose to be empowered in that moment and make that decision, that gift of the present, right? And it's the same thing with our future. If you want progress and productivity and profit, what kind of words are you speaking over your future? And I want you to start to, this week, begin to speak over your future the way that I would hope some of you speak to your children and your grandchildren. So I want you, today I took my 12-year-old and my 20-year-old to hot yoga. And my little sweet 12-year-old, sorry, she's so cute. She was trying really hard, and I said to her, you're amazing. You're doing such a great job. I'm so proud of you. And, the next time you do it, I know you're going to be even better. And she said, I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but I'm committed to getting better, right? Because she knows how to use her words. And imagine if you start to speak to yourself in that way. You know what? Hey, Janet, I'm not, you're not maybe where you want to be, but man, oh man, in 2018, you're going to get better. Or Bruce, you know what? You're not where you want to be in your business, but 2018 is going to be your year. Start prophesizing greatness over your own future. Start prophesizing progress and results and profit over the coming days and the coming weeks and months and the coming year, and watch what begins to happen, because as we speak, so it becomes. as we speak, so it becomes. And it's the same thing with your words. Do you have affirmations all over your house? I do. I have them on little sticky notes. Do you have empowering words? I love, and people give them to me all the time, like, powerful sayings that are on plaques and things like that. I have them even where my husband makes his espresso in the morning. He opens up the cupboard, and there's a plaque there that says, live beyond your limits. It's the same thing we see every day. I have these friends who I mentored, and they became very successful in a business. They got to 6 figures in 6 months. And in every room of their house, there was empowering words, whether they were stenciled on the wall or they were on these plaques or these paintings. From now until the end of the year, could you do that? Could you, go on Amazon even and buy all of these empowering plaques? And people are like, why is your house like this? You want to be that person when people come to your house and be like, I love coming to your house. It has amazing energy. Now, I know some of you are like, oh, hoodoo energy. No, I'm talking about, even if you're a Christian, I'm talking about scripture. Matthew 7:7, ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened to you. What are you asking? If you have these empowering words all over your house, what are you asking? And so I made a decision, every room in my house, now not the bathrooms yet, but I'm working on it. Every room in my house, there has to be something empowering. That's the first thing I want people to see when they walk in that room. I want to raise my children in a house where they're surrounded by empowering words. The other things I'm going to really challenge you to do as you're closing out this year, your email signature, make sure it's something empowering. So every time someone gets an email from you, they're like, wow, I love doing business with this person. The same thing with your texting. How are you ending that? The same thing with your Facebook posting, your social media. Be that person who is prophesizing greatness, not over themselves alone, but over everyone they come in contact with. And I want to finish really talking about this last topic. I meet a lot of people, and again, I observe how people are, not so much what they say. And I meet a lot of people who they'll talk about things like the 4 agreements, or they'll talk about all the empowering books they're reading, but I know they're gossiping. I know they're cutting people up behind their back. Be that person like Don Miguel Ruiz talks about in the 4 agreements, who is impeccable to their word. Make 2018 the year you are impeccable to your word, so you're not going to gossip about people, because words are weapons. And I firmly believe whatever we say about someone else will come back to us, not 1-fold, not 10-fold, not 100-fold, but actually it's written 1,000-fold. So when we say something negative about someone behind their back, that weapon, it not only is formed against that person, it's formed against us. And you've heard the ancient proverb, when you go out for revenge, you might as well dig 2 graves. And I want you to imagine that your words are like poisonous arrows when they're toxic, and they go out, but they come back at a higher velocity and they hurt you. Could 2018 be the year? And right now, live into this in this moment. Could this be the moment? From this day forward, you don't gossip. From this day forward, you don't say anything negative about anyone behind their back, even if it's to your husband or to your wife. Could this be the day? You don't write anything negative from this day forward. You don't speak anything negative over your life. Could this be? Because I promise you, when you change your words, you change your life. And that's what I want for you. I want the rest of this year to be the best of this year, and I want 2018 to be above and beyond. If this has helped you today, I would love for you to share it. I do read all of your comments, and a couple of super quick announcements. So number 1, my program, Organize Your Life, it starts January 16th. It's going to be in the evening, and there's a code, a discount coupon, WINTER, and it's all small letters, so do share it. And my website is www.susansly.com. My course with Lisa, Accelerate Your Results, that one is not posted yet. We have a brand new website coming, which is very, very cool. If you are that person who owns a small business and you want to build a high conscious business and a high conscious brand, my class Organize Your Life Business Academy is going to start actually in March, so check that out on susansly.com. And again, I would invite you to join me for the finale of this series, which is going to be next Tuesday on the 26th, where we're going to be wrapping it up. We're going to do some goal setting, some vision casting. It's going to be amazing to set you up for an amazing 2018. So with that, God bless. Have an incredible week. Know that you are amazing. You are special. You have incredible gifts and talents. Life is too short to be so hard on yourself. So with that, I will see you next week. And if you're new to this, thanks for dropping by and check out my page. It's Susan Sly Live on Facebook. Bye, everyone.